I'm Rob Licuria, Senior Editor at Gold Derby, here with Star Trek Picard Department Heads for Makeup, Sylvie Knight and James Mackinnon. First of all, congratulations to both of you on these amazing nominations that you have for the at the Emmys.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it's very exciting.
It's very exciting. You're flying the flag for Star Trek Picard Season 3, which to me was one of the best seasons of TV I've seen in a very, very long time. How does that make you feel that you are flying the flag for such an amazing show, Sylvie?
I, as a fan, I'm honored. I'm very proud of the work that we did. I have to thank James Mackinnon because he's the one who brought me on board, and he's the one who believed we would make a good team, and we did make a good team. He's a fantastic leader, and together we did have a good time. We had a really good time, but this season 3 was for fans, and for fans, it was exciting. It was exciting for me finishing season 2, knowing I was going to get to do season 3. That was very exciting.
And James, what about you? How do you feel about this nomination for this amazing season of TV?
Well, we got to recreate a bunch of cool makeups from the past, elevate them to the future, and as well get to work with mine and Sylvie's longtime friends now, which is the Legacy cast. Yeah. I've been around those kids for 27 years now. When they were much younger, I'm still 20 years younger than those guys, but it's fun to work with cast members and crew members that you've worked with for a long time, because me and Sylvie go back to American Horror Story times, which is its own entity as well. Yeah. Which actually probably makes us better artists for today, because that's a 100%. Grueling show. Yeah, grueling show. Oh, if you can make it there, you can make it on Star Trek.
Yeah, if you can make it there, you can make exactly. I just want to point out to our viewers that, Sylvie, you have 15 Emmy nominations in your career to date, with 2 wins for Ryan Murphy masterpieces, American Crime Story and American Horror Story. And I love it that you've been nominated for all 3 seasons of Picard. I hope the 3rd time's a charm, right?
James has won for Picard for the prosthetics. We have not yet. I hope we do, but you know what? I'm super excited that we were recognized, and we are all part of the same team. Makeup, hair, costumes. We got recognized with this nomination, and they deserve a lot of credit because, the makeup looks amazing, and I'm very proud of what we did. I'm proud of what James and his team did was phenomenal. Again, we all worked together as a team. We weren't necessarily separate teams, but it comes together with hair. It comes together with costumes that creates the ultimate look. So the fact that we can represent them and remind people that it is the ultimate look of the show is it's wonderful.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we are in our nominations without again, Maxine Morris, the department head hairstylist, and Michael Crow, our costume designer, should have gotten nominations as well. But yeah, it's a team effort, and it takes those actors as well to make the characters too. It's not just us.
Yeah, and James, I also wanted to point out you have 14 Emmy nominations in your career today. This is nothing to sneeze at, with 6 wins for American Horror Story, Star Trek Discovery. God, I love that show too. Nip Tuck, and of course that milestone win for Picard season 1. I remember it was the first big win for Picard, and I remember speaking to so many of your colleagues in VFX and production design and the actors. People so proud of that win. Take me back to that moment when that your name was read out and you were a winner.
Well, it's amazing. Unfortunately, we've had some Emmy rules change, not for the best, and we're trying to take those back, because Sylvie should be on my ballot. I should be on Sylvie's ballot, but we have some people that are jealous of, not of people, I think of big shows, and big shows sometimes get nominated and sometimes win. So it's just as an artist, you have to strive for bigger and better and fun shows. And the name of the award is Outstanding Makeup, Outstanding Prosthetics. So to be brought from like 180 some odd submissions down to 5, we're already winners in that aspect too. So I might have went on a tangent, but it's an awesome feeling, but well deserved for everybody. We can't do it without visual effects, because sometimes Jason Zimmerman and his team, they have to help us out, and we help them out on stuff because Jason doesn't have time maybe to do an effect, or would cost twice as much money than us to do it practically. So we do team up in that way as well. In the middle of a meeting, Jason's like, I'm not doing this. James is going to cost $5. I'm going to cost 350,000. So obviously you would go, let's go with $5, and I get to do something practical. Actors get to work with practical makeups.
Yeah, which I know that.
I want to add a little something on James's behalf for that, because we were basically celebrating together when he won that Emmy, because it was COVID and we were doing it from home. Everything was, via computer. So we did get to share the experience together and with some of our friends. And I was very, very, very proud of them. Their speech was very touching. I think the fact they represented Picard and were up there and were saying, yeah, we put out some incredible work, but not everybody gets to be recognized for the incredible work based on the changes in the rules. And while I'm very, very proud of all the departments that got nominated, all the departments don't have the same biases in the rules. So we're looking into that a little bit, but super, super excited for when they won. Was just cheering. It was just great. It was such a validation for all the hard work they did. We did.
We have an industry full. I'll have to say, we have an industry full of men, and there's a bunch of amazing women that need to be recognized for the big talented shows and talented work they do, instead of us guys all the time. It needs to be put towards everybody instead.
We shouldn't be dividing prosthetics from non-prosthetics. We do both. It's what we do. And as a woman, and speaking on behalf of many, it took a long time to get there where we are, equal in the trailer, and that we're putting out the recognized for the same quality of work that men have done for many, many years. But we are forced to choose, and the majority of, artists that were doing prosthetics at that time were men. James has changed that. He hires so many prosthetic women artists. It's fantastic.
Yeah, trailblazers, both of you.
Because they're great. They're better than me, so you always hire better.
I love the humility. I really do. Now let's talk about the actual work. James, you had so much to choose from in terms of episodes. Why did you choose The Last Generation, the finale, for this nomination?
We can always go on things. Unfortunately, like visual effects, they can choose the whole season or an episode, which is weird why some shows can do one or the other. So we do have to pick one instead of the overall look of the show. I just think 10 was the most amount of makeups, the most amount of iconic makeups. Everybody was represented in it. And it was the best. It was the best out of the 10. You
had the Borg Queen really, really featured in that episode, and she's just beautiful. She's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of volume in that episode, and it's also a really emotionally moving episode for so many of the fans, and there's so much action. But then on the other hand, Sylvie, to be honest, Vox is my favorite episode of the season. I think I've watched that 5 times. I just love everything about it, the writing, the acting. Why did you choose that one instead of perhaps the finale?
I felt that at that episode, for the portion of my responsibilities of the work, it was a little more inclusive. I wanted to use an episode that had all the characters in it. Shaw is not in the last episode, and I felt he was an important part of our makeups, that we created for him. The simulation makeups on the younger crew members were featured very well in that episode. It was more non-prosthetics heavy for my department to be able to illustrate what we did more, to show it more. So I went with that one. I'm very fond of that one. I am. I think there's a lot of had a loss of words, but when they first see like the Enterprise D, when they're all going to the analog ship, there was a lot encompassing that, and I thought a lot of it was moving. And as a fan, that one did set up Next Generation, the next episode, perfectly. But it showed our non-prosthetics makeups a little better, a little clearer.
Yeah, it does do that. And I find even, Ed Speleers gives the most beautiful performance. And I just feel like, when an actor is portraying a character that is stressed out or dealing with trauma, what do you have to do as a contemporary makeup artist? As we're talking about that in terms of the category now. What work do you have to put in to help an actor amplify those emotions?
I think I like to let them break down naturally. I like to maintain a continuity, even though this season took place over a very short amount of time, so there wasn't a lot of continuity to maintain. But the slow breakdowns of the makeups, they're not touching themselves up. They're not having the time to do that. I'm allowing them to go maybe without lipstick in this. Where Shaw, his injuries are healing, they're not healing, they're back and forth. He's looking tired. He's looking, it all helps. Just adding even tiny bit of like dirt, character makeup is making them look a little more tired, a little redness around the eyes, around little tiny things that make them feel different.
Wow.
That helps their performances.
Yeah. James, I remember your first ever Emmy nomination was for Deep Space Nine, 5.1 Apocalypse Rising. And I bring that up because, that's probably one of my top 5 shows of all time. And that was almost 25 years ago in 1999. Can you believe? That was when I was only 2 years old, by the way. In a nutshell, how has prosthetic makeup changed and evolved over the last quarter century?
That episode was a big Klingon episode as well. Our makeups they've stayed the same in the aspect of the look. I think our products and our materials we use have elevated themselves from foam latex back then, which is an opaque surface that you have to paint layers. Now with silicone, it's translucent. So now we're splattering layering of veining and stuff on it. So it gives you that skin. Instead of paint skin, it's now actually skin or silicone that's clear that you just add 5 or 6 splatters of colors to have that, undertone of skin, which is more realistic to, a woman's like Jerry's cheek piece, how delicate her skin is. Now that prosthetic is so delicate and almost the same color as her skin, and the amount of makeup that has to go on is very, very minimal.
Okay. This is a question for both of you. I want to talk about the relationship between actor and makeup artist, particularly on a TV show like this, where you spend so much time with them and you're in their personal space throughout the day, early mornings, late nights, and you help to transform the actors into their character. Sylvie, how important is that relationship that you have to spark up with the actors? I
think it's vitally important. Season 3 was at the tail end of still of a lot of the COVID protocols. So it afforded us the opportunity to hire the right amount of people per cast member. So at least everyone could have that bond with an actor. Mine was with Jerry because, since season 1, I've been doing her makeup. So I have that bond, but it's very important that the team, which I'd like to name because Peter De La Vera is Patrick Stewart's makeup artist. So he's in charge of Patrick and anything Patrick related. He's phenomenal. I had Tanya Cookingham, who was taking care of Gates and Todd, Hanny Eisen, Mika Burton, and anybody else that we needed to get through. We tried to, Allison Carey, for Michelle Hurd, and Kim Ayers for Marina Sirtis, so that everybody had someone paying attention to them and someone to bond with and someone to turn to when we're there, because that's who you're going to see every morning. And so you have to trust each other, and you got to get along in a way it's very, very friendly. It's just not work, and it makes the work environment so much more fun. It's yeah, there's a lot of us, but it helps keep the standard of work very high too, because you just have people devoted to one actor or to two actors or who can do anything. So that made it very nice.
What about you, James?
How do I word mine? Mine is that way as well. And my team, which is Hugo Villasenor, Afton Storton, Diane Mackinnon,
Bianca Peace,
and
Kevin Wasner.
So yeah, all of those people have those actors as well. But my department, it sometimes takes two people for one makeup. So myself and Kevin are on Wharf. So if Kevin has to drop away, I can continue, and vice versa. If I have to walk away and do Brent or Jonathan, it's a tennis match of, you know, who's in whose chair. And sometimes they schedule it, and I have the board queen, Jonathan, and Brent sitting in the chairs at the same time. And for many times I did all three at the same time. I'm not sure how, but I did. And they're comfortable with that dance that we have, because we make it fun. We make jokes, and most of these actors on this end and Sylvie's end, we actually hang out and have lunch together and see outside of work as well. So there is a bond that we have. Me for many years, and now Sylvia for 4 years.
Yeah, but how does it make you feel when you hear an actor talk about their process and whatever, and they always seem to bring up what the makeup artists do to get them to that next level they need to get to? What does that make you feel?
Most of them complain how long they're in the chair.
Yes, that's true.
And usually it's more than we actually do, just to make people feel bad that they have to be in the chair. There was somebody recently, I'm not going to say their name, but they said that they were in the chair on season 1 for 8 hours. Number one, my biggest and hugest makeup only on all 3 seasons took 4.5 hours. So I don't know where that person got in the chair for 8 hours, but I get, maybe they just want, look at me, but we're fast and quick. So both Sylvie and I do these things very quick, because we got to go to set, and we got to be on meetings, and we got to start prepping the next episode, and we got to hire people tomorrow, the next day. And sometimes we have 30, well, just say season 1, we had 107 makeup artists and hairstylists in one day. So it was a lot.
And what about you?
But flawlessly, that's the best part about it. There's not one moment in 3 seasons where I went, oh shit, sorry, oh crap, we could have done something different or better. It was always executed to its best by our team, by ourselves, because of prep, and with Terry Metalis, our showrunner, is a brilliant writer, producer, and showrunner that made made it smooth as well.
And Sylvie?
I'm always happy when actors mention that the time in the makeup chair in the morning is their favorite part of the day. Most of them like the last part of the day. They come into the makeup trailer and it's cleanup time and it's hot towels, and they always say, this is the best part of the day. So it is, and that's when we have the music going, and that's when we have their stuff out, and we can either help them clean up or they can clean themselves, but we're in there, and it's just this really happy, like we got through the day. We did our job today, and now we're cleaning up, and it's a nice feeling when you feel like a team, not just a team with makeup, hair, costumes, crew. You're a team with your actors, and everyone has trust, and so it's a really good feeling. That's what we want to maintain.
Yeah. Final question is, if Star Trek Legacy becomes a thing, Paramount, please, we're begging you, would you hesitate at all to join the crew and on that new journey?
I personally wouldn't hesitate, but I don't know that it'll be up to me, but I wouldn't hesitate with this team.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Yeah, if it depends where it shoots, is probably financially wise. Is the issue. Everything's financial now, unfortunately. It's not about who and what you do, it's financials. So it
You're
depends on where it shoots, but I did go to Toronto for 3 years for Discovery, so maybe we'll go back
Look, fingers
If
More
it's
crossed.
than happy with that.
if it shoots up there.
I just wanted to, I'm manifesting it. So many of us fans are manifesting it to happen. But in the meantime, we can all just watch Picard season 3 again. Both of you and your whole teams, congratulations. Honestly, I'm so proud of the show as a viewer and fan. And I guess you guys are too. And I've got my fingers and toes crossed for you.
Well, thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you very
Yeah.
much.